Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you. No, you're too kind, really. You're too kind. Yeah. Hey, welcome. Welcome, and thank you for that kind welcome, electronic audience. You're so obedient. I am Joel Rissinger. This is the Pondering podcast and radio program. It is Friday, the 17th of January, 2020. That's right, 2020 vision. And you're here, and so am I. Isn't that great? What a coinkydink! What an amazing thing we do every weekday, actually. And that is, we ponder. That's what pondering's about. We think things through. We don't take the sound bites. We don't take things at face value. We think about them, and then we talk about them openly from again, as I love to say, unabashedly, unashamedly, and unapologetically Christian perspective. We talk about weather, we talk about sports, we talk about the news, we talk about politics, sex, money, kids, you name it. You'll find it here. But it's from a Christian worldview. And we do have other views, and people are able to express their views, and they can disagree, because as I always say, you can disagree with the host as much as you like, because in this country you are free to be wrong. He said with great humility, yes. And you can participate and comment, and we love to hear from you. And if you disagree, all we ask is that you don't be disagreeable. That's the thing, right? We just don't want that. So how do you participate, you ask? I'm glad you asked. You can participate in numerous ways. And of course, you may be listening and or viewing this program in numerous ways. We're live on Facebook Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 7:50 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And so you can watch that. Of course, we post it, so you can watch it around the clock, pretty much 24/7. And that's good, too. You can listen through multiple podcast venues. We're available through Spreaker, through iHeartRadio, through iTunes, you name it. And when you do, you can jump on the Pondering Radio page on Facebook and comment 24/7, 365. Of course, if we're live, you can comment live as Jean Marie just did. Good morning, Jean Marie. Yes, it is a little cold outside. We'll talk about the weekend weather in a minute. You can do that. You can email us. PonderingRadio@gmail.com is the address. PonderingRadio@gmail.com. Or you can call and leave a message around the clock, and if we like it, we might even play it on the air. Who knows? But that number is 860-500-7163. 860-500-7163. We should make a little jingle out of it. 860-500-7163. I don't know. Probably not. Maybe we shouldn't make a jingle after all. So, good morning to Susie. Yes, cheers, my dear. Have my coffee as you do. You got 3 cups there. Does that mean you've had 3, or you're planning for 3? I'm just curious. Or is 3 just kind of like the warm-up act to the show, and then you really get started after that? I'm just not sure how that works. And I know your size cups are bigger than mine. So I have an average-sized coffee cup. Susie has one of these mega cups that you need a forklift to get it up to your face. And I like coffee, but I don't usually drink that much at once. I'll have a little bit and a little more. And when I go to Susie's, she always hands me this, this mug. And I don't need a gym membership if I drink coffee at Susie's, because I'm curling, several hundred pounds just to get the coffee mug up. But anyway, I digress. I hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, it is cold outside, as Jean Marie pointed out. It is, I don't know, maybe winter has finally arrived. It took its sweet time, didn't it? I have noticed the squirrels are depressed. I think they got very excited last Sunday out here in the back, and it was, 70 degrees, and they're like, woo-hoo-hoo, we survived it. That was a short one. That was easy. High five, And now they're, somewhat frozen in place. I hope they didn't, eat up all their nuts or throw them out of the nest or something, thinking they were good, because that would be quite disastrous. I do worry about the squirrels. Somebody has to. We could eat them, or we could worry about them. One or the other. Hopefully we don't have to eat them. No. Tree rats, I call them. Anyhow, cold, and supposedly, if you live in New England now, you have this to look forward to. Sunday, Saturday night into Sunday morning, I guess it's supposed to be over early Sunday morning, we're looking at some snow. And Karen was reading this morning a weather forecast of 4 to 8 inches. Now, I'll tell you the PJ methodology of meteorology. There is a methodology to respond to meteorology through the media. Now, we don't, if you know me, you know I don't trust the media as far as I could throw them all. And so when they say 4 to 8, what I do is I take the lower number, in this case 4 inches, and I cut it in half. So I'm expecting 2 inches. Now we'll see. In the past, this methodology has worked pretty well because I know that the public stations, or the broadcast companies, local ones I should say, are, dependent on advertising, and that means ratings and viewership. And so the more you hype something, the more disastrous, life-threatening, earth-shattering it may be or seem, the more people watch. The more people that watch, the better the ratings. The better the ratings, the better the ad revenue, as you show potential customers and clients, why, look at us. We have the highest viewership of any station in the area. And so all this plays together and influences, and they may deny it, but I just absolutely know how this works. It influences the way things are reported. So if you've got multiple storm tracks, you take the worst one possible, Snowmageddon, we may not live through this. You better get your milk and bread now. And people are trampling each other across the street over here at 7-Eleven to get their milk and bread, and the shelves empty out, and then we get 2 inches of snow. So we'll see. We'll check in Monday morning. Let me know if this Snowmageddon really happens, or what we'll see what really occurred. I'd love to know your weekend plans, Ponderers. If you could share that, you can share it right here in the live stream now. Love to know what you're up to. I am hoping to have kind of a day off tomorrow. I dare say that out loud. I probably shouldn't say that out loud. I dare not say it aloud. I do have one appointment, a couple counseling, but that's late afternoon. We may end up rescheduling if the weather does turn sour. And that's it. So I could possibly, I am on call, so that might change everything. But I might possibly be able to sleep in tomorrow. Wouldn't that be amazing? Susie says, yeah, get the bread and milk. Yeah. And by the way, maybe somebody out there can enlighten me. Why bread and milk? So realistically, if I really believed that we were going to be snowed in for a week, yeah, okay, I could see bread and milk as being part of the deal, but that's not going to, I would rather have like stew. I'd be looking for Dinty Moore, or those real big chunky soups, big bunch of cans of those, and some eggs, some protein, I want something that's going to keep me warm. Canned chili, bread and milk, yeah. I guess if all else fails, but I don't know. But that's what everybody goes for. That's what clears out, isn't it? So yeah, I'd love to know what you're doing this weekend. Are you going anywhere? Are you doing anything? Are you going to chill? Are you going to take it easy? We hope you'll join us at Lifeway Church. And since Lifeway is our sponsor, let me just tell you, in case you don't know, Lifeway is meeting this weekend, Lord willing, unless Snowmageddon happens and the building collapses, or we just can't clear the parking lot, and we're all just fighting for survival with our bread and milk and Dinty Moore stew. Barring all that, we will have our normal schedule, which is 9:30 and 11:15 a.m. Sunday morning at 2172 Berlin Turnpike. Great stuff. Popular contemporary music, doing some great worship songs this weekend. We had rehearsal last night, and I'm really excited about that. I enjoy doing backup vocals and harmonies, and we're going to be doing some real fun ones this Sunday. And we have kids' church, we have a nursery, we have coffee in the cafe and snacks. Come on. Where would you rather be? Home, eating your bread and milk? Dunking the bread in the sour milk and sucking it down? Or would you rather have coffee and delicious snacks, listen to an inspiring, uplifting message and some great worship tunes that might even make you cry a little bit, and you come home just feeling so good, like, yes, I've connected with God. It's a no-brainer, folks. And you can watch online again, Snowmageddon hits, and we're still if we still have service, which we plan to, you can watch online as well at the Lifeway Church Facebook page, Lifeway Church, and we live stream the messages on Sunday, and they're recorded there, so you can watch some back ones, prior ones too, if you wish. Again, 2172 Burnland Turnpike. Check out lifewaych.com. That's the website, lifewaych.com, or you can call the church office at 860-436-9216. 860-436-9216. And Linda's on. Happy Friday, Linda. That's right. TGIF! Woo! We survived another week. Congratulations. Happy Friday to you, Richie. Well, yeah, you ought to come on down. We got a seat saved for you. So, yeah, good stuff. Looking forward to the weekend. But love to know what you guys are planning. I mean, you're gonna ice skate? You're going to ski? You're going to shovel snow? Make snowmen in the front yard? Or go to Florida and forget it all? Love to know. Tell me. Punch it right into the live stream here on Facebook. Want to talk about a couple things to have kind of a smorgasbord of things. We're going to have to go quick here. Got about 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Just quickly, I want to touch on the China trade deal. I think this is historic. I traveled to China the first time in 1983, I believe it was, as a student. I studied Chinese at Beijing University, the capital, and did some touring, a lot of touring actually, by train and other means throughout the southern part of the country as well. And I love China. Love it. Love the people, love the kiddos. I learned so much vocabulary from Chinese kids. Oh my gosh. I got the basics at the university, and then I would go out and about in the streets, and as we were touring, walking through fields, and I remember just asking kids, I'd point at something and say, 这叫什么? 那个叫什么? What is this? What's this called? And they would look at me funny like, wow, the big white guy doesn't know what a cup is. And they'd laugh and giggle and they'd poke each other. And then they'd tell me. And I would pick up vocab all the time from little kids. They're great fun. Little shalhar, little children. Well, anyhow, having seen the contrast between then and now, I've not been back to China. I was back one time in 1986, I think it was. And that's it. I haven't been back since, but I've seen a lot, heard a lot, talked to a lot of people who do business there or are from China, and there's a huge change in China. Not so much politically, still communist, etc., still oppressive in that way, but a change in the sense of a little bit more flexibility in commerce because they wanted the moolah. They wanted the cash flow. But it's really been unfair. As you know, I could probably turn this cup over, although I'd spill my coffee, and see made in China. Just about everything is made in China. When our firstborn, came out of the womb, I noticed on his foot, made in, no, I'm just kidding, not really. But I mean, it's become that way, and unfortunately, over time, there's been a real tipping of the scale in terms of fair trade, meaning there were huge tariffs attached to our goods and services, so the Chinese people couldn't afford them. And then coming here, there were no tariffs attached, and they'd make things so cheap because they'd pay their laborers almost nothing, and so they could sell for pennies on the dollar what would cost much more here to manufacture and produce. And over the years, that's just one example of things that have happened that really have created this imbalance. And President Trump, I think, won a major victory in being able to establish a trade deal that says, no more knockoffs, no more producing products in China that with Nike on them or something that aren't Nikes, that are cheap. No more of that. We're going to police it. We're going to set up a police force, in essence, to do that and monitor it. No more unfair, price gouging or fixing of the dollar, the Chinese dollar. That's another thing they would do to create an imbalance. There were a number of things in this deal that I thought were just excellent. And in return, we'll lower the tariffs that we had placed on China to force them to the table to make this deal. And we'll see how it unfolds. But on paper, it looks really good. So kudos to President Trump and his team for putting that together. Hey, the Bible speaks of this, doesn't it? That an unfair balance and weights are an abomination to the Lord. It's in Proverbs. that God does not like it, and he's not happy, not pleased when merchants stack the deck. In those days, if they had a scale and you're supposed to get, so much wheat, and we'll say a bushel, that's not the term they would use, a bushel of wheat, they would adjust the scales so that it would say a bushel, but it was less than a bushel. And they would make extra money that way. And God condemned it, said, no, that's an abomination to me. Don't play that game. And that's in essence what was happening with China and the U.S. And I think it's been somewhat rectified. So thumbs up on that one. So Susie, good. Susie gave me a little input on the weekend. She says, I'll be getting the house ready for my surgery Tuesday. Make sure I can get around everywhere. Oh, I got you. I was going to say, is the house worried about you? You're going to try to calm it down. No, just kidding. No, we're excited for you and your surgery too. And everybody be praying for Susie on Tuesday, and pray for the doctor because he's got to deal with Susie on Tuesday. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But no, seriously, pray for Susie as she goes in and has some surgery done and hopefully recovers quickly. And we'll keep tabs on that. I'm sure we'll hear the full report later in the week from the Susie Q. So, yeah. What else? Okay, I want to encourage you also, in the time we have left here, to be praying for and to speak out about the tolls in Connecticut. Right now, it's been delayed again. It may not even come up in session until midway through the year, if at all. But it's definitely being pushed. The governor wants it. Many of the Democrats want it. They're saying here that we'll just have tolls on big trucks. But we all know that once they put up those toll machines above the highway, it probably will not remain only in use for big trucks. And even if it is, I hope you guys know that there ain't no free lunch, as they say. We start charging truckers mucho dinero for traveling through and around Connecticut on 84, 91, 95, etc. Those goods and services that they haul are going to go up in price. And the reason they're going to go up in price is the truckers can't afford to absorb the tolls. Trucking companies don't absorb those tolls. And the companies that produce the lettuce that they're bringing to Stop and Shop are not going to absorb the tolls. No. You and I will absorb the tolls. And so it may be that they stay with trucks. I doubt it. But let's say they did. It's still going to cost more money. And it's already too expensive to live here. And we're also like in the top 3 of all states with regard to more people moving out than moving in. We are one of the highest states, exit states, I would call it, in the union. I think we're number 3 out of 50. So it's crazy. And we don't need to make it worse. So I think we should be in prayer about that. I think you should speak up about it if there's an opportunity to do that to your state representatives and say, no. Stop crushing our families. Stop crushing our businesses. Stop chasing people and retired people out of the state. No tolls. Cut expenses. Get rid of waste. You'll be more than happy with the results. You'll have more money than you know what to do with. So that's my political commentary for the state for today. I think that's the right thing. I think oppressive governments are an abomination as well. God does not approve of that. And when you start wasting money, as our state does, and I could give you many examples of that, how about the $3.1 million we dropped on a turtle tunnel down along the shore? A lighted one, nonetheless, so the little turtles can see better to get under the highway. That was one example of waste. Or the $380-some million busway to nowhere that no one rides. That would be another example of waste. There's lots of examples of cuts that can be made to fund highways and bridge repair and things like that without socking it to the rest of us again. So I think that's something we should be in prayer about. One last thing I want to talk to you about quickly. I know we're out of time. But I really would love to hear your thoughts on this, Ponderers. And again, you can post on the page. You can email me, ponderingradio@gmail.com, or joel@lifewaych.com, or you can call 860-500-7163, leave a message. I am in a 21-day period of prayer, reflection, fasting. As you know, we do this every year at Lifeway. Well, maybe you don't know, but some of you know. At the beginning of the year. And the other day, I was listening to Tony Evans with my wife, and the announcer came on and was just explaining about Tony's program and offering a book and encouraging people to donate. And it struck me, and I think God was trying to, get my attention, that, when I've done radio in the past, broadcast radio, not just, Facebook and that kind of thing that was free like this. I've always tried to sell advertising. Or sold books, or both. Try to fund it through the sale of advertisements, or endorsements, or whatever it might be. And I felt like God was encouraging me to do two things. One, to maybe over time morph Pondering into more of a Pondering the Word type program, where we're actually going through verse by verse scriptures in the Bible and explaining and commenting and talking about them. And to do that back on the air again, not just in Facebook or podcast, but also in broadcast media on the radio. And instead of funding it with ads or sales, I think he was challenging me to fund it with donations. Meaning that I would create a 501c3 on a board, an oversight board, and we would do it through tax-deductible donations that would be taken, like many Christian programs function now. And that would open the door to many Christian radio networks that may or may not allow advertising. And it would involve trust. It's really, it takes the impetus out of my hands of trying to produce the income to pay for the airtime, and it really puts it back into the hands of the people listening and saying, if you like it, if it helps you, if it blesses you, please donate to the program, and here's the address, or here's how you do that. I'm not 100% there, but I'm real close to that now, thinking a lot about it, praying about it, talking to people I respect about it, trying to make sure that it's God I'm hearing from and not just, an impulse from my creative, hyper, ADD self. So I appreciate your prayers, appreciate your thoughts and input. The question, again, is, do we create a nonprofit, ministry, and then use that to fund not only what we're doing here, but also expanding it into into Christian radio networks on the air, broadcast media, and pay for it by donations alone. No sales of ads, no sales of books and materials, just donations. It does involve trust. Believe me, that is a scary proposition from a financial perspective. But it is something that I feel like maybe the Lord's asking me the question, do you trust me? Do you trust me to do in this? I've called you to do this, to teach the Word, to ponder the Word, so we'll probably call it something like that, pondering the Word. Do you trust me to fund it through free will offerings as opposed to the sale of stuff? So, let me, like K-Love is funded, Linda, yes. Except I wouldn't have like fund drives. It wouldn't be like, this program is, for an entire week we dedicate all the programs to, hey, give. No, I wouldn't do that. That's one thing I don't like about that. But every program, there would be an opportunity to give. And there would be probably some gifts that go with that. Sometimes, you say, for gifts of $50 or more, we'll give you this book, blah, 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 whatever. We may do stuff like that. But it would still be, free will offerings to pay for the airtime, to pay for the program itself, to fund the whole ministry. So, love your thoughts. Love to hear what you think about that. Linda's praying about it. Appreciate that. And if you have thoughts, or maybe you think you're hearing from the Lord on it, whether it's a good or bad or indifferent, let me know. It does cost money to create a 501c3, so I'm going to have to invest in that if we do it. But if it's what God wants, we will do so. All right? Hey, I think that's it. Covered a lot of ground today, but God bless you guys. Susie says coffee mugs. Oh, yeah, giving away coffee mugs, right. Pondering coffee mugs. Sure. Yeah, why not? We could do that. For a gift of $1,000 or more, you get this Pondering Radio coffee. No, I'm just kidding. I would do that. Wouldn't be that high. But anyway, God bless you guys. Have an awesome weekend. Tell your friends, neighbors, and complete strangers about Pondering every weekday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And listen, be safe if it does snow. Make sure you get your bread and milk and coffee. I think that's important. Probably coffee first, then bread and milk. And we will see you back here Monday morning at 7:30. In the meantime, stay in the Word. Keep praying, and whatever you do not check that brain. No gray matter checked at the door. Keep on pondering. God bless you guys. Love you all. Bye for now.